Good afternoon, graduates and families of the class of 2021. My name is Amelia Bader, the senior class president. Thank you all for joining us in this celebration and commencement of the graduating senior class. I would like to begin by introducing our distinguished guests who join us on stage today. We begin with members of the West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board, Mr. Brian Keller and Ms. Kristen Kaiser. We are also joined by Superintendent Dr. Marty Lexman, Nathan Hale Principal Matthew Lesser, Assistant Principal Laura Sproul, Academic Dean Mary Washbush, and Dean of Students Tanisha Jones. Additionally, we are joined by faculty speaker Rose Misyak, the top 10 academic honor graduates, and my fellow executive board members of the senior class. At this time, please rise for the Star Spangled Banner performed by the Nathan Hale Music Department. Thank you. At this time, I would like to welcome Principal Matthew Lesser to the podium to address the class of 2021.
Got to take it all in a little bit. Special day here. Glad to see everyone joining us today. On behalf of the Nathan Hale staff and administration, I'd like to welcome the students, parents, family, friends, alumni, school board members, superintendent, and other guests to our 2021 graduation ceremony. Congratulations to the 314 graduates of Nathan Hale High School that are sitting before us today. I'm truly honored to celebrate and acknowledge this milestone with all of you this afternoon. So now I warned you about this speech about being a couple announcements long or something like that. This is my last time with you, okay? So bear with me. So I know you're going to miss my announcements. Come on now. All right. So this class has a special place in my memory book, as you have made your mark as strong and resilient young leaders, navigating through one of the toughest times in world history, and being present today as the 2021 graduates of Nathan Hale High School is truly a testament to your tenacity. I do want to begin today by acknowledging that your senior year has not been all that you or I hoped for, but all of you have made the best of it. Starting out this year in virtual learning, attending classes through Zoom, trying to understand the material, and stay motivated when school is so much about being social. grasping at anything remotely normal to keep involved and get the complete high school experience. Whether it's face masks on while playing athletics in small assigned pods, no fall football, but continued workouts in groups of 15 in the weight room, but you had to sanitize the weight equipment after you used it. Performance music classes focused on music theory, and then assessments through video submission. Attending school clubs and organizations through Zoom meetings, or a move back to popular entertainment of the 1920s, the radio play, as to keep socially distanced on stage while performing. You, the class of 2021, continued to make the best of it. Find a way to be as much involved as possible. Well, things gradually opened up to in-person learning, interacting with each other while staying 6 feet apart, tight to the right in the hallways. How many times have you heard that? Sitting on your dot at your assigned table in the lunchroom. Football and soccer getting to play in the spring, but you actually got to take masks off when you competed. Performance music classes, yeah, you got to begin to actually perform in your ensembles, but you had to wear the proper PPE and no in-person concerts yet. To where we are today, 3 feet apart, masks off, with family in the stands, reminiscing about the awesome things you achieved as a class, both in academics and co-curriculars, even during a pandemic. What a ride getting back to hopefully a normal. So, we're going to do just that. Take a moment and reminisce. Some of your accomplishments are 147 of our graduating seniors, about half of them, right, have cumulative grade point average at the honor roll level or higher. This class had outstanding enrollment and achievement in college-level advanced placement courses, leading to Nathan Hale once again being recognized as in the Newsweek top high schools list, as well as recognized by the Wisconsin Advanced Placement Advisory Council as an AP pace setter school in the entire state of Wisconsin. This class has members of them on the science team, HOSA, FCCLA, those organizations who competed at state and the national level. The fine arts students have produced outstanding drama productions. Our music students are exceptional, with many students being recognized at the state level over their high school career at the WSMA state competitions. But with a year of COVID, those competitions were put on hold, and it made it more difficult to be earning those recognitions as seniors. However, in its place, this group before us, and you saw it on the screen there just a minute ago, this group collaborated between in-person learners and our virtual learners as an entire music department during the fourth quarter and created some wonderful music pieces, which will be shared a little bit later on in the program. This was no easy task to be taken on by the directors, but a well-deserved showcase of our musicians. So at this time, I would like to have any of our music students, and many of you are wearing those pink cords today, and you might be in music and not be wearing pink cords possibly, but please stand and be recognized to show your dedication to the Husky music program. So music students, please rise. Music students. Awesome, and we're going to see some good stuff here in a minute. Please be seated. As for athletics, this class had state qualifiers in wrestling, track, cross country, POMs, cheerleading. In addition, 51 students were earned scholar athlete status this year. We had a state cross country runner champion. Athletes and teams recognized as area, state, and national players of the week, and a number of athletes playing on at the college level. We recently had an academic awards night for the class of 2021 to recognize their awesome achievements, both in their academics and co-curriculars. We did it right over here in the stands. And we basically were recognizing people for being in things like National Honor Society, reaching certain dedicated levels in clubs, organizations, and programs, being an AP scholar, taking a lot of AP classes, achieving honor roll, or scholar athlete status. This was about 200 students. Now, everybody didn't get to come to that event for various reasons. But with limited ability to hold large events this year and the need to recognize the outstanding achievements of this class, even in the year of a pandemic, I would like to recognize our award winners here today in front of the entire school community. So would our seniors that earned any sort of court award, honor roll, scholar athlete, any of those, would you please rise and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. I am so proud of your hard work and efforts of the class of 2021 before us today. And you can see it right there. Just outstanding. The class of 2021, your mark and memory is permanently stamped on Nathan Hale with all these accomplishments. What am I, about one announcement in? Okay. Before I direct any further comments to our senior class, I'd like to thank your parents and teachers, and you should as well, for their unconditional commitment to teaching and learning and the inspiration that they have provided for each of you to reach your highest potential. Parents and staff, thank you for all you have done during these trying times as well. You were the bond, staff and parents, to keep that plane together as we built it, as we went along throughout the school year. Okay, so thank you very much. Many of your students shared with me that without your support, they may not be sitting here before us today. So graduates, over the past 13 years, you encountered many challenges, both in and out of the classroom. You use these experiences to grow and find success. You have also developed a variety of skills through nurturing of your family, friends, and teachers. You have truly developed great relationships with both classmates and staff. Seniors, you have met and exceeded the Nathan Hale standard of excellence. As the banner said when you walked in, you've lived our motto of academic and human excellence. And you have represented the West Dallas, West Milwaukee School District and community to the highest level. And there's no bigger thing than you've walked the Husky way. Your presence here today signifies your persistence in attaining this significant accomplishment in your life. You should be proud of yourself. We all sure are. Over the past 4 years, each and every one of you has grown personally and academically. Just 4 short years ago, you entered Nathan Hale as an inexperienced freshman, wandering the halls, confused, and maybe even a little overwhelmed at times. But now you have developed into a mature young adult, ready to take the next steps, whether it's enrollment in establishments of higher learning, entrance into the military, or immediate immersion into the workforce. Your talents, strong work ethic, and dedication have led you to a successful high school career and have gotten you to where you are today. There's no doubt in my mind that you, the class of 2021, you're destined for greatness and will make your mark at the next level. So, graduation represents a beginning or a commencement. Commencement means beginning to new experiences, a world of opportunities. For some of you, it may be a welcome time in your life to start over with a blank slate and begin writing a new chapter in your life. And for others, a continuation of the successes that you've had. I'm confident that your Nathan Hale experiences have provided you with the tools and the success. That's not good. I turned that off, I thought. I'm not that good at technology yet. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm confident that your Nathan Hale experiences have provided you with the tools to find success in all that you do and to seize these moments. This class has gone through a historical time like no other, was challenged, persevered, and conquered, knocked down, but never knocked out. The past year and a half has resulted in some serious reflection with all that has occurred in society around the pandemic: mental health, equity, social justice, and just overall unification of the country. Class of 2021, you have your work cut out for you as you continue the next steps in your life journey, which will contain many challenges, and it will be essential that you keep your focus and priorities. When things get tough, I want you to remember the mason jar story I'm about to share with you. So I got a little story to share with you, and then I'm coming to a close. A professor stood before his philosophy class and had some items in front of him. When the class began, he picked up a large empty mason jar, which looks like that. That's not a mason jar, it's just a big vase. All right? But imagine a mason jar, and you might not even know what that is, but a vase. Proceeded to fill it with large rocks, right? Large rocks. He then asked the students if the jar was full. Is the jar full? And they said, yes, it's full. It's to the top. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles, which I don't have, and poured them into the jar. And he shook the jar lightly. The pebbles rolled in between the open areas of the rocks. He then asked the students again if the jar was full. They agreed. It's full again. The professor then picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. And then he sifted the sand. And once again, he asked, is the jar full? And they unanimously answered, yes. Now, said the professor, as they all wondered, where the heck is he going with this? He said, the large rocks are the important things: your family, your health, your friends, your passions, aspirations, what you stand for. Things that if everything else was lost and only these things remained, your life would be still full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, but like make life more fulfilling, like your job, the amount of money you make, the house you have, the car you drive. Okay? The sand is everything else, the small day-to-day stuff that we now come to appreciate actually in a pandemic, like grabbing a coffee at Starbucks, or the ability to have a mask off and actually share a smile with someone. However, if you put the sand in the jar first, he continued, there's no room for the pebbles or the rocks. The same goes for life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you never have room for the things that are truly important to you. Class of 2021, as you sit before us today, ready to take on the future, wherever that leads you, be sure to pay attention to the things that are critical to your success and happiness, like your goals, aspirations, and passions. Take care of the big rocks first, the things that really matter. Set your priorities and go achieve them, and then fill your jar with the smaller things that you have come to so much appreciate during these unprecedented times. Nathan Hale, class of 2021, reflect fondly on the past. Be proud that you're a Husky, and be confident that you are prepared to succeed and make an impact on the world. Congratulations. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, wherever that may take you. All right, and now I'd like to bring to the podium our senior class executive board, one by one, for recognition and acknowledgement. I'll announce them. They'll stand at their seats when I announce them individually, and then we'll bring up and they're going to share a few words with you. These individuals were elected by their classmates as the leaders of the class and oversee the class council made up of 26 students under the direction of advisor, Mr. Klinkner. This executive board put in many hours of hard work and dedication to lead this team, culminating with a great senior class cookout yesterday afternoon and the creation of the class mural to keep your legacy alive at Nathan Hale. The council members are already wearing their medals of distinction today. However, I'd like to recognize each one in front of their classmates. They will stand at their seat while I call their name. Senior Class President Amelia Bader. Senior Class Vice President Arya Lagizaman. Senior Class Secretary Paige Dresky. And Senior Class Secretary Joshua Trushan. Your officers will now have the opportunity to address the class of 2021, beginning with Class Secretary Paige Dresky.
I promise I won't talk for as long as you did. Okay. Good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, and my fellow classmates. Today we celebrate our class, the class of 2021. It seems like just yesterday we were fresh out of middle school, starting a brand new chapter of our lives called high school. I remember my first day of freshman year, being weirded out that I was going to the same school as legal adults, people who towered over me, and boys with full-grown beards. Now here I am, 18 years old, a legal adult. My friends now have full-grown beards, but I'm still towered over by most of you. Our high school experience has been like no other, and it definitely was not the experience we expected. Although our last normal year of high school was sophomore year, we have a story to tell our future generations. I won't mention the things we missed out on because those losses do not define us. We celebrate what got us here, hard work and perseverance. All the things that we've been up until this point makes us who we are, and the best part is we're not done yet. We will continue to experience things and make memories every day that mold us into who we truly are and who we are meant to be. Now here we are, sitting together in our green wizard gowns and square hats, ready to get out of here and start a brand new chapter of our lives. So to my fellow classmates, I hope whoever you decide to be, I hope you are happy and kind. Congratulations, we did it, peace and love.
Hi, I'm Joshua Trushan, your senior council treasurer, and like my races, I'll make this fast. I'd like to congratulate every one of the students again on their 4 years of hard work, but I would like to take this time to focus on those who have possibly put in even more work than us, the parents and guardians that got us here. It's not just 4 years of signing permission slips, going to parent-teacher conferences, and going through pickup and drop-off in the morning. It's 18 years of constant care. You never missed a day. Every student owes their success today to the people who have shaped them. Parents, you have seen us move through the first stages of our lives. The path might have been rockier than expected, or has changed since you first held us in your arms 18 years ago. But somehow, we all got here together. Your effort, love, care, and wisdom have helped shape us into the people we are today, and for that we offer our sincerest thanks. This might be more your achievement than ours, to be quite honest. Everything you have done for us has been in our best interest, even if we thought it was irrational or went against what we wanted. I have only just begun to recognize and appreciate all the sacrifices and choices you have made to make us into better people. Thank you, Mom and Dad. To the students, when your parents frustrate you with rules or when they give you that "come home now" text, I challenge you to stop and think about something greater than your own desires. Slow down and consider that they are most likely doing it to make you a better person. With that being said, parents, unfortunately for you, it's not over. In fact, this is really only the beginning. It's like you've made it through the title sequence in a movie. Now it's time for the real thing. Us students will take your lessons with us wherever we go, whether we realize it or not. And students, do not be afraid to ask for help. They have so much wisdom, and I hope that we all come to realize that they might be the most valuable people in our lives when we are looking for help. Parents, thank you so much for everything you have given us. We simply would not be here without you. This is only possible through you. On a final note, students, call your parents. Ask them how they're doing. Tell them you love them. And every once in a while, say thank you.
All right, Josh, thanks for making me cry before I come up here. But all right. It's such an honor to be one of the individuals privileged enough to address a speech to you guys today. I'm looking at one of the most resilient, brave, and intelligent classes Nathan Hale has ever seen. I wanted to start off my speech by saying that I am so proud of every single individual in this crowd today. Every parent, every family member, our entire faculty and staff, and of course my fellow graduates. We had a senior year that was unprecedented by any other class, but we buckled down and continued to strive for greatness. Now it's time to shine some light on the backbone of this school, our teachers. No amount of trainings, meetings, or college courses could have prepared our teachers for conducting class 100% virtually. Sometimes it's easy to forget that teachers are humans too. They're mothers and fathers and husbands and wives, and this past year was just as hard for them as it was for the rest of us. The difference is, however, they weren't allowed to be scared. They had hundreds of students relying on them to provide a sense of stability when the world was falling apart. No matter what was going on in their personal lives, they logged on to Zoom every single morning and they showed up for us. Now it's time for us to show up for ourselves. Now it's our turn to show up for ourselves. No matter what journey you're following next year, I hope you are continuously inspired by the gratitude, innovation, and love our teachers have shown us the past 4 years. The class of 2021 will be forever grateful. Thank you.
Parents, families, teachers, faculty, friends, and the illustrious class of 2021. How are we doing today? My name is Amelia Bader, and I'm so honored to stand before you today as Nathan Hale's class president for 2 consecutive years. For my speech, I'm going to be reciting a spoken word. As a daughter of 2 Palestinian immigrants, I'd like to talk about overcoming adversity. From walking in as freshmen to departing with seniority, we have all faced obstacles, either on our own or together, whether it be problems with your family or the pandemic that felt like forever. I remember March 13th, 2020, the day that our lives would drastically change, and the tragic occurrences that would spark a world movement to fight for social justice outraged. I remember from my AP Gov class discussing the presidential election and wondering when our lives would go back toward a normal direction. I recognized the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the epitome of a courageous woman, and the first female U.S. Vice President breaking barriers in the political vision. It feels like a slight moment ago that we were all walking into school for the first time, getting lost in the halls while listening to Life's a Climb. But I'm not here to tell you a sob story about how life is short, even though it is. If there's anything these past 4 years have told us, it's that life is like a pop quiz. Surprise! Life's surprises force us to change our perspectives, and being open to unexpected turns in the road is necessary for our successes, even if that means at first the struggle progresses. Our lives are only just beginning, and it may seem like your heads are spinning, but you all have the whole world at your feet. You want to travel the world? Sweet. You want to go to med school? Keep pushing through. You want to become a professional sleeper? You do you. And yes, that's a real thing. The beauty of where we are now is that you have the power to choose what you want to pursue. As some of us stay close and others leave afar, there is no doubt that Nathan Hale High School helped make us who we are. We are freedom fighters, writers, artists, mentors. We are the leaders of tomorrow who will inspire the future generations of our sons and daughters to follow. But we cannot do it alone. Teachers, parents, friends, you are the backbones of our success. Friends and peers, as we leave high school, we enter a world that is in constant transformation, and you may face new opportunities with hesitation, but remember that you are so full of potential, so don't sell yourself short of carrying a legacy on your back. It's essential. Gandhi once said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." So as we leave here today, we must let our voices be heard. We must continue fighting for what we believe in undeterred. As we explore the world, we should change it for the better. To my future self, I write you this love letter. We will aim for the change that our world is desperately in need of as we continue chasing the dreams Martin Luther King would speak of. We will solve for X in our real-life equations. We must strive to create a world where every kid lives to see graduation, since opportunities in life come by creation. Embrace change with the right change. Seniors, now is our time. This may seem like the end, but this is the beginning of forever. There are still memories to make and struggles to face, status quos to break and places to stay. There are still people to meet and poems left to rhyme. Thank you, and free Palestine.
Thanks again to Amelia and the other senior council members. Next up, we will hear a selection recorded and performed by our band, choir, and orchestra. Baba Yetu, composed by Christopher Tin, is one of the theme songs from the Civilization video game series. It is the first piece of music composed for a video game to be nominated and win a Grammy Award. So it's a big deal. It is sung in Swahili. Thank you.
Amina Baba Yatu Yatu Lie Gina Lakueli Jacuzwe Yatu Yatu Lie Ninguni Yatu Yatu Amina Baba Yatu Yatu Lie Gina Lakueli Jacuzwe
Utupale uchakula chetu tunachohitaji kusamehe makosa yetu kama nasi tunavyosamehe waliotukosea usitutie katika majaribu lakini utuokoe na yule uokoe milele. Yatu yatu mbinguni yatu yatu amina Baba yatu yatu Baba yatu yatu mbinguni yatu yatu amina Baba yatu
Just phenomenal. That's what I was talking about earlier. What a production. So we got another flavor of that a little bit later on in the program. And now it's my honor to present the Valedictorian and Salutatorian Awards to the top 2 students in the graduating class by 8 semesters, a grade point average, their entire high school career. This class was outstanding academically, and it was a very close decision. We are talking thousandths of a grade point. I begin by calling Lucas Krajewski to the podium to be recognized as the recipient of the Salutatorian Award as the second-ranked student in the senior class of 2021. Lucas was presented with his medal prior to the ceremony, as to which he is currently wearing. Lucas will be attending UW Milwaukee, majoring in a STEM field to be determined. Lucas, please come to the podium.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Nathan Hale, class of 2021, and the rest. Before I begin, I would just like to thank you all who have brought us here today, which include those who hide their facial expressions with cloth or paper over their face, those who suffer with an incredibly sore arm for 2 days straight, twice probably, and those who realize that violating personal space is a privilege, not a right. Furthermore, I would like to thank all the Nathan Hale teachers since you sacrifice your time and effort to support us in our future endeavors. Without all your support, especially through this crazy pandemic, we probably wouldn't have graduated high school until we were 20, and we would have, I just lost my spot. And we wouldn't have been prepared to become productive and well-educated members of society. I'd like to thank the administration for informing us and making us tough decisions to better our education. Although Mr. Lester talks for 30 minutes straight during announcements and he repeats details 5 times over, literally, it is much better than receiving poor or no communication over all that is important. I'd like to thank the janitors and lunch staff, as your job to keep the school clean and give us our lunch has a profound positive impact on our ability to learn and grow. I'd like to thank the technical crew here today for making our musical performers sound their best and providing extra microphones in case someone breaks one. I'd like to thank Ms. Bukowski for listening to my speech ahead of time so I don't sound like I slapped a bunch of words together the last couple days before I walked up on stage. Yeah, thank you. I think it's starting to rain. I'd like to thank all the parents and guardians who raised us and supported us so we could graduate and later thrive in our adulthood. I have a feeling that once most of us move out of our homes and learn how tedious it is to cook our own food and do our own laundry, you'll suddenly feel a lot more important to us. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Truly appreciate it. Last but definitely not least, I'd like to thank my fellow peers in the class of 2021. For the most part, you all bring each other up and help each other so everyone can make it through the difficult challenges of high school. Sometimes it is difficult to recognize our peers, especially if they're rivals or strangers or friends with a terrible influence. But just remember that it is all part of life, and learning from them is the best way to do better and move forward. Next, I know you are probably all tired of hearing that we, the class of 2021, are one of the best high school classes ever, especially since the class of 2020, the class of 2019, the class of 2018, the class of 2017, so on and so forth, claim that they're the best high school class ever. However, this one time, I honestly believe there is some truth to it. We're not only a bunch of students who made it through power outages, Alex topics, sophomore respect retreats, and competitions to record the most like TikTok. We are a bunch of students who took the full force of a global health crisis and online learning. For some, this worked out great since one could easily take a nap in the middle of the class and not get caught. For others, however, distractions, a lack of socializing with friends, and being on the computer 7 hours a day has been a great hindrance to learning and achievement. Not to mention, we also missed out on senior homecoming, junior prom, dinner events, senior pep rallies, and even time to goof around with friends. However, if you are in this field or driving by the school to pick up your diploma, you have shown great perseverance through one of the greatest challenges we as a class had to face. If you let this perseverance carry on throughout your future path, I'm sure we can make the world a much better place than anyone else can. As a last point I would like to make, and hopefully this sounds alright since I revised this last minute, I personally like to congratulate Josh Truchon for becoming the class valedictorian. When I first heard about the switch in class ranks, especially after 5 semesters of being at the top, it honestly felt like I got hit with a blue show right before I crossed the finish line. I know that all too well. However, as time went on, I accepted this change for what I learned, and how I apply it is more important than having the highest grades and scores possible. In fact, intelligence is not defined by GPA or test scores or other quantitative measurements. Intelligence is defined by your willingness to learn and your ability to grow. Quote by me. If you can talk to people with ease, play a musical instrument, know Spanish like is your second language, accurately use Big Bang Theory as a reference for scientific facts, I don't know where you are, Fred, or even know an insane amount of information about the K-pop band BTS, you're smarter than I, the salutatorian, could ever be. I know it may seem disappointing at times that your grades are not as good as others, or your test scores are just not cutting it, but as long as you focus on achieving a happy and well-fulfilled life, whatever that may be for you, you will bring a positive change to this world. Now, the inspiration from the speech will probably disappear after a couple of hours, as we humans have short attention spans. Maybe I wrote this for nothing. But the only thing you need to remember is that all of you in the class of 2021 and beyond have great potential to bring change to this world. And you teachers, you've already brought a lot of change. Just remember that the most important thing is to reach your own fulfillment, persevere, and most importantly, keep learning. Thank you. And Dogecoin to the moon! And hi, Robin and Jonah!
All right, that was some great words shared. And now I'd like to call Joshua Truchon to the podium to be recognized as the recipient of the Valedictorian Award as the first ranked student in the senior class of 2021. Joshua was presented his medal prior to the ceremony, as to which he is currently wearing as well. He will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison, majoring in engineering and running on the cross-country team. And at this time, Joshua would like to share a few words with the class as well.
First off, this is unfair because how am I supposed to follow that up? That was hilarious. Hello again to my fellow Nathan Hale graduates. I'm proud to say that after 4 years of hard work and commitment, I get the opportunity to speak to you as this year's valedictorian. I want to offer a sincere congratulations to Lucas for being salutatorian. Let me tell you, I don't think I know very many people who are as intelligent and hardworking as Lucas. You certainly pushed me to be the best student I could possibly be. Thank you. I want to thank my amazing support group that I've been blessed with, coaches, friends, teachers, my girlfriend, she's over there, and most importantly, my family. All of you have shaped me into the person I am today, for better or for worse. Thank you. All right. Thanks. We have all earned the privilege of being here today. For some, this day felt like it took forever to arrive, and to others, it maybe seemed straight up impossible. Everyone here has taken a unique path to this moment, and some paths have been harder than others. Some of you have gone through struggles I can't even imagine. Yet today we are all united in this moment, sweating it out together. No matter who you are or what grades you got, pat yourselves on the back for your achievements. Now, of course, today did not happen magically. This is a beautiful culmination of years upon years of hard work and growing a little better each day. This is a powerful thing, but where do we go from here? The future is scary. I don't know where I will be 10 years from now, nor do I know what I'll be eating for breakfast tomorrow. I don't think any of us know what our future will look like. Some of us might have an idea of what we want, but these visions are just that, visions. So if we cannot perfectly understand the future, how can we control the unknowns? I believe that we need to do what we've done for the past 4 years. Just get a little better every day. Put in the time into everything you do. Do not allow this achievement here to be a limit for yourself. Take this diploma in stride. Celebrate, of course. Have fun, have cake, ice cream. Not too much. But keep that work ethic that brought you to this day. If the song Life is a Highway, you know, the one from Cars, if that song is any truth, then we have really only gotten past the on-ramp. I challenge you to adopt a no limits mentality. In my freshman year and sophomore years as a runner, I often limited myself. I saw times that were faster than what I was running, and I didn't allow myself to believe that I was capable of running that fast. Since I have broken those barriers, I'm happy to say that I proved those limits wrong. But we must remove the limits from our frame of mind and take risks and buy into something that you're passionate about. Be willing to take the step to be great at something. You can be average at anything, but taking the extra commitment to be great is a big deal. It's hard to be great. Easy to be normal, good, just average. But once you take the step into the territory of being great, you become abnormal. And it sounds scary, but this is the best thing that you can do. Be different. By putting in the time every day, you become great. Picture whatever you're passionate about as a piggy bank. And now every day, when you get a little better at whatever that thing is, you put a couple cents into that jar. And give it some time, and you'll find yourself with a full piggy bank. Little things compounded every day create something huge. Following a no-limits lifestyle is scary. It involves taking risks and committing to something. And with this, there's always a chance for failure. Let me make this clear. No matter if you buy into something or not, you will fail. You will fail over and over again. Like how my thing just dropped. Failed right there. I got to pick it up. You will fail over and over again. It's just part of being human. Believe me, I have my fair share of failures. There are plenty of times where I've fallen flat on my face or failed to put my cord back on my shoulders. Failure is unavoidable. So what are you going to do about it? We try again. That's what we do. I know it might seem backwards, but failure is one of the best things that can possibly happen to us. I believe that falling short provides a greater learning opportunity than if we had just succeeded. And notice how I said learning opportunity. When you screw up, which again will happen, you have an opportunity to take that experience and learn from it and make yourself a better, more experienced person. Or you can sulk and change nothing. I'll be honest, I have a bit of a nasty habit of turning on myself whenever I fall short. If I mess up, I direct anger towards myself and tear myself apart, and that does nothing. But I think many of us can relate to this. It's a normal feeling. However, I challenge myself and everyone here to stop being normal. Take that failure and keep moving forward. Never stop moving forward. We cannot be afraid to make mistakes. Instead, we should embrace our mistakes and milk them for every ounce of experience we can get out of them. This is what will make the difference. And now I want to address what happens when we fail others outside of ourselves. Freeing ourselves from limits, taking risks, and being willing to fail is certainly a scary thing to do. We will never find out what we can be without putting ourselves into a position where we feel uncomfortable. When we reach out of our comfort zone, we open the door for greatness, but also greater failures. When we fail, sometimes we do affect others. This is also a normal part of life. It might hurt more than if your mistakes had only affected yourself, yet it's still not the end of the world. Graduates, when you hurt someone else, even accidentally, I ask you to put your pride aside and ask for forgiveness. You cannot pursue greatness without being willing to fail. And with that comes the need to seek forgiveness occasionally. You're going to mess up. I find that when someone wrongs me, I expect them to ask me for forgiveness. Yet how often are we willing to offer forgiveness to others? There's the real challenge. We must forgive others the way that we expect them to forgive us. Life is too short to hold grudges. See things from a different perspective. Take the focus off yourself and think about something greater. If we learn to forgive others, we allow other people to take risks, because then they know that they can be forgiven if they fail and keep moving forward as well. This brings me to my final and possibly most important point. We need to love others. Forgiving others requires us to love. And I think most can agree that the world can be harsh, judgmental, and sometimes just ruthless. But while there's plenty we can't control, we certainly can control how we respond. In a society that is sick with selfish desires and a me, me, me mentality, taking some time and acting in the interest of someone other than yourself is the medicine. Every human makes mistakes. I certainly do. And I've never seen it, but I think Mr. Lesser does too. Oh, there was the phone thing. I'm going to have to dock you for that. So, if we all make mistakes, what's the point of believing that we're superior to someone else? That sets us up to be hypocrites, and no one wants that. Instead, we should accept that no one is perfect and treat people with the respect that we would want. It's called the golden rule for a reason. We've heard it since elementary school, and it's a pretty good rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Beautifully simple, isn't it? Now, I know I've thrown a lot at you here, and I'm talking more than Lesser is, which might be a miracle. But I want you to take away these 4 messages, if nothing else. No limits, embrace failure, forgive others, and love others. These are things that I have found to be the most valuable lessons from my high school experience. But if I'm honest, sometimes I've struggled following my own advice. And that's okay. Because if we make a conscious effort to try and follow these principles, I believe we will be just fine. Love wins. Thank you so much for all the memories. I'll never forget you all. And congratulations to the class of 2021. Thank you. All right, I'm not done yet. Now, we will hear another selection performed by our band, choir, and orchestra, also composed by Christopher Tin. Sogno di Volare is another popular theme song from the Civilization video game series. It is sung in Italian, if you couldn't tell. Thank you.
Now I'd like to welcome to the stage our teacher speaker, social studies teacher, Miss Misiak. She was selected by the graduating class to deliver the teacher address. She was wearing a robe that was signed by all of our graduates that also sports the acronym CTG, which stands for Commitment to Graduate. Please give a warm welcome to Miss Misiak.
Thanks, Paige. I'm hoping the cloud comes back. Thank you, class of 2021, for voting me faculty speaker. When told I was selected, I was flattered, especially as a senior homeroom advisor, teacher, and because I'm very fond of your graduating class. I have been fortunate to teach at Hale the past 12 years and teach a majority of you in this graduating class throughout the last 4 years. I'm here to represent the faculty, and each of you have shown us, teachers and staff, in large and small ways, that you are amazing people. Your class has personality, spirit, determination, and we will never forget you. Your class is unique. You had no choice but to be stronger than past years and past classes that came before you. You were the first class in the history of Nathan Hale to survive an entire school year through a global pandemic. You were the first class to use and survive Zoom and block schedules. You were probably very thankful for Google and Wikipedia. You're also the first class, sadly, without a locker clean out, without fans at events, without a homecoming your senior year. Your senior year didn't turn out like many of you had hoped. As I paged through the yearbook the other day, I remembered how many of you I missed seeing around the halls, how many of you I did not get to see smile all year long. Living through this year will be a defining time in our lives, but it shouldn't cast a shadow over all of the wonderful moments that came before during your time at Nathan Hale. The pep assemblies, the sports events, the theater and music performances, the dances, the respect retreat your sophomore year, the many hours we've spent in the classrooms together. I remember your freshman orientation, handing out those green Hale sling bags. You all look so nervous. Look how far you've come. Don't fall into the trap of focusing on the worst parts. Focus on the many great experiences you've had and the relationships you've formed. Focus on how this year has brought many of you closer together. Today is a milestone in your life, and a lot had to happen right for you to be here today. Be gracious to your friends, family, and teachers, counselors, principals that helped you get here. Your high school experience will make you stronger and more ready for all you will face in the future, because I assure you, this pandemic is not your last challenge in life. It was a tough year, but we are so proud of your resilience and strength. There are a few things I ask you to keep in mind as you leave here today. First, be kind to others and stand up for what is right. Doing what is right is not always easy. Now more than ever, we need to value one another and respect one another and commit to positive decisions in life. Work hard to maintain your character. It stays with you forever. And a solid character will help you achieve your goals. Second, take care of yourself and your loved ones. As a Nathan Hale graduate myself, I was always proud of my West Dallas roots. Even though you will venture away from home, don't forget about your families, friends, and this community that helped you grow into the person you are. Maintain those supportive relationships that have always helped you. Be kind to your mom and dad, your family today. They were there with you on your first day of kindergarten when you could barely open your lunchbox. And third, try to find something that gives you happiness in your life and maintain it. As we've learned this past year, life isn't always perfect. Life is painful sometimes. It takes tremendous strength to find joy in what you control and what you cannot. It might take you a while, but keep searching to find your happiness in life. Overall, the school community has been extremely lucky to have spent 4 years with this incredible group of students, and we are excited to celebrate you here today. No one doubts you will leave your mark on this world the way you have here at Hale. Continue to work hard and take advantage of all the wonderful opportunities this world has to offer you. Thank you, class of 2021, for being part of the history of Nathan Hale. Thank you for letting me be a part of today. The building will not be the same without you. I will feel lost in September without seeing some of you in the halls. We will miss you dearly, and no class will ever replace you. Go out there and do amazing things, and keep us posted on your future. Congratulations.
And now, class of 2021, the time you've been waiting for. One more announcement. No, I'm kidding. School board members, Mr. Keller, Ms. Kaiser, Superintendent Dr. Lexman. It is with great pride that I present the Nathan Hale class of 2021. I hereby certify that these students before us today have satisfactorily completed the course of study required by the West Dallas West Milwaukee School District and the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction. I now ask that you please join me in presenting the senior class officers with their diplomas, followed by the top 10 honors diplomas, and continue on with the remaining students on the field. So if you take your place, please. All right, remember, as you get your diplomas, you're going across the stage. You receive them from our school board members. You'll be greeted, most likely, we're moved away from the handshake, so we get a little fist bump, elbow bump, hip bump, chest bump, whatever you got going. Yeah, true, Sean, watch that, okay? So I know how that works. And then, once again, you're slowing down here for a nice photo that you receive your diploma cover. And over here, you'll have another photograph on the other side of the stage, and pay attention to that. And then it's back to your seat, kind of like you walked in before. And then we'll close it all out together once everyone's announced, and you go back to your seat. So I will begin here to honor our senior class officers with their diplomas. Senior class president and number 8 in the class, Amelia Janine Bader. Senior class vice president, Aria Angelina Leguizamon. Senior class secretary, Paige Elizabeth Dresky. Senior class treasurer and valedictorian, Joshua Michael Trushan. And we follow with awarding the remaining top 10 honors diplomas on the stage here. Salutatorian Lucas Michael Krajewski. Katrina Marie St. Clair. Patrick Elvin Kirkpatrick III. Emma K. Seefeld. Natalie Marie Gumina. Brennan Joseph Compass. Sydney Elaine Shotton. And Killian Grace Peterson. Now to present the remaining diplomas to the class of 2021 will Assistant Principal Laura Sproul and our school counselors with whom your students have worked with throughout their high school career. We'll begin with Miss Sproul with last names letters A through D.
I'm not going to make any comments about being taller than Mr. Lesser. I might have just done that. All right. Xavier R. Adams. Ashley Christina Awatsi. Morgan Michelle Allen. Crystal Alonzo Villa. Jalen Marquise Armand. Caitlin Marie Artuzo. Sean A. Balistreri. Lyric Marie Barnhill. Matthew J. Vasquez. Montavia Ann Beeman. Get a picture. Andrew Joseph Berger. Olivia Marie Bazoo. Austin Joseph Blagg. Jerry Gerardo Bolaños. Savannah Noel Brooks. Kennedy Cruz Broomfield. Tyler J. Bruns. Alexis Marie Buchholz. Tyler Beeks. Shakira Michelle Buford. Brittany A. Burback. Isabella Nicole Burns. Casey Elizabeth Birch. Justin Ray Calderon. Isabella Castillo. Adrian Castro III. Noah Charles Choate. Bennett L. Christensen. Darius Clark. Manuel Colon Jr. Diara Celeste Connor. Miguel Armando Coronado. Olivia Catherine Crosby. Jenna Davis. Alina Ariana Delgado. Joseph Michael Dornick. Jennifer Eileen Doyle. Sydney Rose Durfee. I will now pass the microphone to one of our school counselors, Miss Kennedy Summers.
Robert Eugene Eastham III. Carter Elam. Zachary Randall English. Veronica Ann Erdman. Xavier Martin Erdman. Haley Ray Erickson. Hunter Lee Erickson. Emmanuel Esparza. Naraya Lachelle Estrada. Cade David Etzel. Evans Ezerins. Alyssa Ann Fiedler. Adrian Obed Figueroa. Jadianas Cruz. Alexis Jean Franz. Matthew Fredericks. Ashton Gaydosh. Victor Galashewski. Jesus Garcia. Winona Jean Renee Gardner. Mackenzie Hagedorn. Hannah Reese Gaboy. August Gershweiler. Frederick D. Gilliam III. Madison Alexandria Judy C. Tyler Glens. Ryan Glonsky. Jacqueline Godinez. Lillian K. Getch. Nevea Marie Gordon. Philip Michael Groff. Alexander Grawl. Kendral Sincere Green. Tyler Golzinski. Kayla Gullickson. Heraclio Guzman. Alexia May Hansen. Tiaja Anna Mae Hansen. Janisa Alexandria Harris Bender. Jenna Hayes. Jimmy Hayes. Robin Dakota Heim. Brandon Helg. Jaden Henderson. Julian Jason Hernandez. Robert Hernandez Jr. Tatiana Hernandez. Joshua Dominic Harriges. Samantha Hibble. Claire Elizabeth Igelski. Avery Isaac. Corbin Jackson. Gabriella Nevea Johannesson. Jacob Johnson. Gerald Jones. Next to read, school counselor Mara Isle.
Samuel George Kautzman. Matthew Allen Keys. Faith Elaine Kennedy. Malia Marie Knapp. Jenna K. Kester. Matthew A. Cole. Nathaniel T. Cotterman. Manny Mason Croct. Isabella Mariah Crayonbuell. Emily Roseanne Sobiek. Jenna Lee Isabel Keene. Adrian Kupka. Nicholas Alexander Kwiatowski. Brady Landowski. Christian Jong Langhoff. Kiernan Michael Lee. Abby Rose Lytle. Christina Victoria Liapis. Joshua Nathan Loera. Taylor Ruth Luck. Adriana Marie Mata. Thomas Malmberg. Olivia Kiara Manriquez. Ryan Gabriel Manvia. Nicolina Marie Marchese. Logan Martins. Sean M. Martin. Molly Jade Mash. Madison Brianna McBride. Rico J. McDade Lathan. Mackenzie Ella McDermott. Antonia Marie McGowan. Edgar D. Medania Andrade. Megalyn Evelyn Myers. Sienna Lee Mission. Brady Jordan Mako. Cade Michael Mako.
Damare Dejan Morgan. Gabrielle Elizabeth Mould. Caleb Matthew Miller. Rose Margaret Bethany Nance. Kira Jade Newstetter. Alyssa Kate Nitz. George Lyle Nowak. Rachel Nicole O'Brien. Shamari U. Ojoa. Andrea Taylor Oman. Dina Marie Olenek. Robert Denzel Olenberg. Parker Allen Olson. Nathan James Orlando. Isaiah M. Ortiz. Ethan Osowski. Liliana M. Otapa. Nadia Marie Otero. Nathaniel William Overton. Layla Kali Patterson. Andrew Gunnar Pedersen. Maurice W. Pendergast. Tyler J. Phillips. Brandon Joseph S. Pomasak. Savannah M. Pipel. Brianna N. Poborski. Jaden Pollock. Ayana Jalen Porter. Jalen Donnell Price. Selena Erica Froelich. Sean B. Quirk. Benjamin Thomas Radke. Allison Marie Regath. Pamela Ramillo. Taylor J. Randolph. Eric J. Radajewski. Nathan Scott Racky. Emmanuel T. Rotz. Christopher James Rode. Cody P. Ritzman. Mariah Alexis Rivera. Berenice Rocha Nunez. Estrella Rodriguez. Rudy Rodriguez. Elizabeth Eileen Rogel Haas. Mackenzie Renee Roloff. Elani Alexandra Roman. Next reading names, we have school counselor Nikki Levine.
Leslie Ruby Sandoval. Thomas Samuel. Jasmine Sanchez Ibarra. Martin Casimiro Sanchez. Alyssa Noel Sanderson. Dominic Sansoni. Adrian D. Santos. Sonia Anid Santos. Tristan Philip Sawyer. Isabella Sophia Scardina. Mariah Lynn Schoenberg. Easton Michael Shearer. Ryan Justin Scheuer. Atreyu Go Schilling. Jordan Tyler Schneider. Nicole Cecilia Shutt. Taviana Kiri Schwingle. Emma Sophia Scrip. Pavipal Singh Sethi. Jonah Hale Sheraton. Rachel Siegel. Leslie Cifuentes Magallanes. Tiffany Silva. Jatinder Singh. Zachary A. Sino. Cassidy Squera. Aiden Peter Smith. Matthew George Smith. Jaylyn Marie Smith. Emma Elizabeth Soborowski. Bibiana Soto. Elizabeth Grace Stab. Emily Rose Stab. Abigail Jan Stanbro. Matthew Anton Seskunis. Michaela Faye Stowe. Logan Tanner Sveck. Anthony J. Taylor. Haley Lynn Telford. Ashley N. Thomas. Madison Ellen Thorson. Natalie Rose Tobias. Grace Hope Torres. Arbutus Rain True. Kennedy Jean Vahovic. Isaac Vargas. Ayana Vassar. Justin Morel Vincent. Franklin James Wagner. Ethan R. Walters. Abigail Rose Wargalit. Mateo Scott Warwick. Danielle Mary Weary. Arizona Nicole Rose Weems. Emma C. Whitehofer. Milo Wessel. Tyson Michael Wheat. Haley A. White. Sebastian P. Wiggers. Caden M. Wilkes. Curtis Wilkes Jr. Elizabeth Rose Willis. Kayla Williamson Greer. Mason Williams. Natalie Page Williams. Jakira Wills. Micah J. Wilson. Kate Kristen Winkler. Emma Jeanette Wolf. Emily Ethel Wolfarth. Angelina Zhang. Victor Yumaj Zhang. Brandon Yep. Anthon James Zarnith. and Christian Eric Zenz.
All right. Pretty exciting stuff. Another round of applause here for our class of 2021. Wow, what a great day. You know, a little bit worried there for a little while, but that was awesome. Everything held off. Wonderful celebration. Thank you for being here today. With that being said, did you do that on purpose before when you said that about me? That's a transition I use all the time. As we exit, okay, the music will play. Students will leave the field and we'll exit off the stage. We'll go down the middle and then we kind of exit row by row from the front to the back. We just don't kind of like boom and go. So from the front to the back, we walk fairly quickly, all right? And you must pick up your diploma because you only got a cover right now, right? Okay, because we didn't want to be out of alpha order and give you the wrong one. What's going to happen is you're going to go back, stop at the tables back there, and get in line for your alpha order, okay, and then get your diploma from your counselor. Once you get it, it goes into your diploma cover, okay, you slip it in there for safekeeping. You exit the side door where you came in earlier, and you can get out in the grass area, celebrate, take photos, all that kind of stuff, okay? We'll exit the field. No one will return back onto the field at that point in time. Also at the tables back there, you're going to get a couple of things. You're going to get a class poster. Okay, we couldn't do an all-class picture because we had a bunch of virtual students still. So you're going to get anyone that turned in a photo in for the yearbook by the deadline will be on this poster. Okay, everyone will get a poster. Some people might not be on the poster because the deadline was not met. Just be aware of that. And then you're going to get a commemorative husky mask. Okay, didn't know about this when I ordered that. I thought we'd all be in masks. Okay, so you can take one. You might need it down the road. You can put it in your safe keeps. All right, so those are three things you're going to get. So you'll exit the field to the north area, stop and get your diploma, face mask, and class poster, and then out the side entrance, out to the grass area, take as many photos as you want, and all that kind of stuff. And then also, families, as you leave today, if you go past the exits, I believe we have a bunch of extra yard signs for graduation. If you'd like to take one as you go out, if you want an extra one or you never got one, please take one as you exit. But thank you, and we really appreciate your cooperation and attendance this afternoon. One recognition I do want to do here is shout out to Beth Kaler over here on the side in the white dress. Raise your hand. She is a 77 grad of Nathan Hale High School. Okay, she's the director of communications for the district and coordinator of all these wonderful week-long events, and this one especially. So thank you very much for all your efforts with that. So now I'd like to bring Aria to the podium for the changing of the tassel. This is the moment you've been waiting for.
Thank you, counselors, administrators, school board members, and Superintendent Dr. Lexman for your presentation of our diplomas today. At this time, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. We are officially ready to set forth as the 2021 graduates of Nathan Hale High School. Senior class, will you please rise? To symbolize the completion of our 4 years in high school and movement from seniors to graduates, please join me in the changing of the tassel to the left side of our graduation caps on the count of 3. Let me get mine. 3, 2, 1. Nathan Hale